Hi guys, here's another page in my traveler's notebook, and I had to cover up this rather unfortunate incident on this slide. You'll see that in a later video. And what better subject to do that with than coffee. So I've just grabbed this piece of blue paper just to sort of match the blue that's in the cup in my photo. And I'm just going to glue that down over this incidental stamping here, and then just glue it down all across the page. Now I'm going to do some repeat stamping on this, and I probably could have done it on the paper flat, but this insert is reasonably new, so it's not that bulky yet, so the stamping worked out fine on the page. So I've just trimmed that off, and now you can't see my terrible job stamping underneath, and I can start stamping. So I've grabbed a couple of sets from Kelly Stamps, the This Girl and the Coffee set, and I'm just going to pick one of the coffee sentiments, and I'm going to use that to do some repeat stamping. Now I decided I wanted to do my stamping on a diagonal, so I'm just, rather than stamping with the block on an angle, I'm just placing the stamp on a diagonal on my straight block, so that way it'll always be the same. I'm just using soft pull ink, so it's only going to be a really subtle pattern, which is what I want. I sort of want like pattern paper behind this photo, but I want it with this coffee sentiment. So I'm going to speed this up considerably because it is quite a small stamp and it did take me a little while, but the pattern works out really nicely. When I get to the edge of the paper, I'm just moving my scrap paper over. I'm not masking it off terribly accurately. And I probably could have left a gap in the middle for my photo, but I've done the whole page. It didn't take that much longer. And there we go, all done. I love the subtle pattern that it gives it. And it's a nice place to put my photo on. So I was thinking I was gonna use a lot of washi tape in this page, and it does go terribly wrong. But before I stick my photo down, I'm gonna stamp the This Girl Needs a Coffee stamp, and I thought I would do it really subtly with the Brilliance Moonlight White. And in real life, it looks really great. It's sort of hard to tell here on video, so it sort of gives it almost a metallic sheen. It's really hard to see, but in real life, it is just this really subtle stamp. So I'm just gonna roughly glue that down with my tape runner and then add a piece of washi at the top. I picked this one because it's got those same sort of blues in it and just is a bit more colourful. And then I thought I would add a bit more of this washi down the bottom as well. So I'm running that all the way across the bottom of the page, and at this point I'm thinking, oh, it's a little darker than I had anticipated it being, like it's a little bit heavy at the bottom. So then I thought, well, I'll add a piece at the top and that might balance it out. And I hate it. So I was going to add some alphas, and I'm thinking I was going to use these peachy ones to match my photo, and I just really hated that washi tape. So luckily it peeled off really nicely, so I was just really careful to pull it off nice and flat. I'm not lifting it up, and I'm going really slowly to take my time, and it all came off without ripping anything. So in that case I was really lucky. So then I thought, maybe I like the idea of it, but maybe a different pattern. And for now, I'm just going to give up on that. I still think that's what I'm going to do, but I just leave it for now, and I want to put my title in. So my title is Grab a Cup, and I'm just using these letter stickers just to put it in. Starting from the middle and then working my way to both edges. And the only thing I wasn't really happy with was the spacing of the A, so I do peel that off and just move it so it's slightly more centered. Although now I'm looking at it on film and it doesn't look that bad, but in real life I thought no, I wasn't happy with it, and I peeled it off and just moved it a smidge. Then I'm going to do a bit more stamping, so I've grabbed a darker blue ink. The problem with this is it is a chalk ink, so it does take a little while to dry, but I do love the colour of it. And for once I am making sure to clean my stamps off each time I use them, because that chalk ink really does stain them quite badly. And then I'm just going to add my journaling in just with a gel pen, and I wasn't sort of happy with it. I'm never really that happy with it when I like handwrite my journaling. I don't love my handwriting, but this time I was sort of like, it's kind of ruined the page. I wish I had typed it. I didn't know what to do from here. It didn't look great. Then I went back to my idea about washi tapes, but I didn't like that one, so I went back into my stash and I ended up pulling out this blue one, and I think I like it better because it sort of ties the page together a bit more because it's blue, so it makes it look like it's, you know, got a purpose for being there. It's making this blue colour scheme. So I'm going to add that back in exactly the where I had it before, along the bottom, and just one piece across the top. And I like that a bit better, but I think it needs a couple more stamps. So I was a little bit disappointed that my the last couple of words on my journaling, I probably could have done with a stamp. And when I pulled the stamp off, it did cover the journaling, so I decided to stamp it on a piece of scrap paper. And I'll just cut that out and stick it over the top. But of course, I have to be really careful because it is that chalk ink. So as you can see, when I peel this off, it is still wet. It is still coming off. So I'm just really careful to stick that down. And then I just thought to bring in that like rule of 3, I'll add one more stamp to the top in that same blue ink. And that is how I rescued this page from certain doom. I felt like maybe it must have been jinxed. If you want to keep watching, there's a couple more videos on screen. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye!